Um, you know, hell, Taurus might even have one coming out. I was talking to a buddy today. I was talking to Uncle Dan. I said, wouldn't that be crazy if Taurus came out with one? Because they really don't have anything that I know of as far as rifles. And I said, wouldn't that be crazy if they came out with one? But if it did, it would take Taurus mags, I'm assuming. But, and I think the most standard magazine for a PCC is a Glock. Not saying they're perfect, but due to capacity and stuff, the Smith and Wesson. I think the highest capacity on the Smith and Wesson mags are like 26 rounds. But hello, Richard. How are you? Lynn Holt, Scott 79. I appreciate y'all being here. Cheers, everyone. We got a little bit of noteworthy this evening, or a lot of noteworthy. And if y'all didn't hear, I'm gonna be on Chris from the 740s live chat right after this one shuts off. I'm gonna jump over there, and he invited me to join his chat, so I'm gonna pull a twofer tonight. I don't know if y'all can stand to deal with me that long, but hopefully you can. But tonight's topic was kind of like the top 5 must-have in guns, is what I was meaning. Not necessarily brands, but what type of calibers do you think is a must for everyone? I've got my 5, but and I've got my reasoning behind them. But what do you think? Like, would you say a 9mm pistol? A 22 rifle? What would you say is probably your top 5? You can type them below. I'd love to know. Hello, reloading from the hot pot. I'm sure you're going to be on Chris's chat as well, so I will see you over there at 8, or my time 8. But let me know your 5 top 5s, and then I'll get into mine, or I can get into mine now. And this isn't brand name or anything like that. Hello, Pistol Pete. How are you? Again, this is not brand names, like I have to have a staccato or anything like that. It's just the recommended 5 things I would recommend. I would recommend a good pistol, whatever you're happy with, whether it be a Glock, whatever. I mean, for SHTF, if that's what we're going to get in, if that's what's going to happen, a Glock might be a good idea for compatibility, with everyone. That might not be a bad thing. So I would say definitely a good pistol that you feel comfortable carrying on your person, whether it's outside waistband, inside waistband. I would recommend inside waistband. A good AR-15. And the reason why I say an AR-15, just give me a second. I don't really care for 223 5.56. However, what you can do with an AR-15 is you can simply snap off the upper on that AR-15, and you can snap on like a 300 blackout upper, if you need to get things done or whatever. So it does give you that opportunity to do that. I'm a 30 caliber person personally, but I would recommend a good AR-15 for that. So you could run 300 blackout and 223 5.56. Also, I recommend having a good shotgun, whether it be a pump, semi-automatic, whatever. I would recommend a pump shotgun. They are more reliable, and they will run low brass, high brass, usually whatever you want. Some semis can be very picky on low brass ammo, high brass. If you don't know what I'm talking about, the cap on the end, your low brass, you're going to have a little bit of brass showing. High brass is a lot of brass showing, so that's the difference. Some semis can be very, very finicky on low brass. So I would recommend a pump shotgun. And then a good 22 pistol or rifle. It would be your choice. You know, I kind of tend to lean towards a 22 rifle. And the reason being is if you had to shoot small game, rabbits, squirrels, whatever, to live off of, so to say, you could do that with a 22 rifle easier than you can a 22 pistol. You can get them farther away, more accurate because you've got multiple points of contact, things like that. So I would still probably go with a 22 pistol or a rifle, even though I love 22 pistols. And then I would go with a good heavy hitter, like a 308, 6.5, 458 SOCOM, something like that, to where if you had to take big game, you could. So those are my top 5. Just a good pistol, and I would go 9mm, a good AR-15, because I could also put a 300 blackout upper on it if I needed to, a good shotgun, preferably a pump for me, and mine would be a 590A1, a good 22 LR rifle for squirrel hunting, whatever it might be, and a good 308 for big game. That would be my 5 choices. I don't know if yours are different. Yeah, and I have that. Hello, Clyde. How are you, Floridian? Um, I do have that AR conversion for the 22. To be honest with you, it's not the super most accurate thing in the world because your twist rate is so much different in an AR-15 as it is in a true AR-15, or excuse me, a true AR-22, 1522. So those are way more accurate than the conversions for your ARs. I have one. The mags are unreliable. It's the CMMG conversion. It doesn't work super well for me. Not saying it's horrible. Just the particular pistol that I tried it in, it didn't work very well. But I could, try other ARs and see if it works well. A-Dubs is saying anything in 30 super carry, it basically hits like a brick through a glass plate window. Yeah, that caliber is been dead. It's going to stay dead. It's everywhere that I've seen ammo. It's just sitting there with dust on it. Nobody is buying it. They're not buying the guns, just like I predicted. That thing is, it went quicker than the 224 Valkyrie. Yeah, they do make ARs and 30-06. I just don't think they're that desirable, and also they're super super expensive. And some of them don't run reliably. They do have some that do, but they're super expensive. Hello, Mr. Chris. Like I said earlier, I'm going to be on his chat at 8 o'clock. So if y'all want to tune in, it will be Chris from the 740. I'll be over there with Reloading from the Hot Pot and some other guests that he's having over there. We're going to be talking weapon lights and all that good stuff. Pistol Pete saying, I've been running a 407K X2 green lately, 6 MOA, like that little thing. Yeah, I mean, I enjoy mine. I do prefer the smaller dots because I have the dual stigmatisms we talked about, but that's just a personal preference. It's whatever works for you. And I do prefer the 507K because you get the multiple reticles. I can have the dot, I can have the circle or the circle dot. So if I need something bigger, I can always kick on the big ring. Need a 308 or a 6.5 bolt or gas. Everything you mentioned, I have. I've got a 308 gas gun. It is the AR. I mean, I enjoy it. It's the Lancer. Bolt guns are great too. Probably the biggest caliber I have in a bolt gun is an 8mm. That's probably the biggest caliber I have in a bolt gun right now. Let's see. You also need signal pistol with all pistol calibers. Insert as a last ditch. Or you can just shine your light in the air. Do smoke signals. 9mm is all you need. JB says it blows lungs clean out of your body. Clean out. I do not have any experience with the 22L conversion for the Beretta 92s. I do not have any experience. I've shot the 92 style Beretta pistol that takes 22. It's a 22 version, and it's okay, but just low round count, 10 rounds, of course. What's up, G23? How are you, man? He will also be on Chris's chat. Holosun's making some good dots. They really are. I mean, I know, trust me, I'd rather them all be made in America. You know that. But they are making some really good stuff. And they're also, really coming out with different options that people have wanted for a long time. I would love Trigicon to come out with a bunch of cool new things. But it's like just Holosun is beating everybody to the punch. And knock on wood, I've got y'all know this. I've probably got 14 Hollow Sun red dots, and I've got 3 SROs, only one Delta Point Pro that still works. Um, all the rest have shit the bed. I've had one SRO fail; they had to replace it. I've got the Aimpoint Acro P2. I've got the Steiner MPS or whatever it is, the newer dot. I've got it, the enclosed. Um, I know I've got some other dots too. Oh, I got the 507. What else do I have? But so far, I haven't had any Hollow Suns have any issues other than a little discoloring. I had one, my 508T, that had some discoloring glue, kind of glue around the edges, and I did a video on it. But I've still been running it. It's running fine. It just kind of looked like dog shit when I got it. No backdrop again. Yeah, I didn't do it Floridian. I've got one that I will be putting up next week. I think y'all will enjoy it. It has something to do with that. If y'all can see where I'm pointing, it has something to do with that. So y'all can stay tuned for that backdrop next week. Yes, I have seen 9mm in my area. You know, it's like 12 bucks in some places. I haven't seen the $10 yet, but it is around 12. I saw 11.99, you know, online or pickup, but I haven't seen it in the store or that. Yeah, IWI makes good pistols. I did see the Masada Slim, and it does come optic ready. It's not really for me. I'm not saying it's a bad option. I I personally don't need it, but I think it's a good option for someone. And they IWI guns do run. Yep, and that's what I was going to talk about. I've got it written down. Pistol Pete, the new 507 competition, the big, huge window. The thing looks like a TV screen. I think that's going to be a pretty cool option for a lot of people. You know, if you're running like, you know, target guns, competition guns, I think that's going to be a really cool option because the window is bigger than an SRO, but you don't have the overhang of an SRO. It fits the RMR standard footprint or the Hollow Sun 507K, or excuse me, 507 footprint, full size. So I think a lot of people are going to buy that and drop it on. I think the price they're saying is going to come out like 389, something like that. So, and eventually they're going to have it in a green option for people who like the green. And what's really funny as far as the dots, you know, I thought I was really going to love the green dots since I love green fiber optics. I thought, man, I'm going to really love the green dot. However, I think maybe I'm so used to red dots, and I do have a green dot. It's on my MPA commander. It's I don't really prefer it better over a red. I thought that I was just going to be keyed in on that green and it was just going to be so awesome. But I don't really find that like I do on the fiber optics. I much prefer a green fiber optic over a red, but I don't mind the actual red dot. Yes. The EPS 320, it should fit directly on a staccato. That is true. It will. The only thing you've got to be aware of, if you have the staccato carry, it's going to have the shorter front sight, um, you know, and the shorter rear sight. However, if you've got the tactical, it's going to have the taller front sight and the taller rear sight. So when you put that EPS on there, your sights are going to be in the way because you're directly milling it to the gun. So you will have to change your sights. So just be aware of that. Abigail, hello. Said tried scotch for the first time today. It's a 12-year-old oak aged scotch. I mean, I have some scotch. I'm just not a huge scotch fan. I think I have some Glenfiddich or something like that. It's some green. It's supposed to be like some premium. I got it as a gift. Someone gave it to me, and I like it. And I've had the single and the double and all that other stuff. I'm just really a bourbon and a whiskey guy. But like I said, Scotch is not bad. It's just not. It's not my preferred. Pistol Pete likes the green dots. Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with either one of the dots. It's just I think I can live with either one of them. Everyone should have a 7.62 AK, second most common semi-automatic rifle you come across. I mean, I agree with that. 7.62 is a great round. Just in my particular preference, I personally prefer 300 Blackout better, and I've got plenty of ammo, plenty of mags, all that stuff for it, and plenty of rifles in it. And what I like about it is you can simply, with a upper change, popping your pins, taking your 300 Blackout, and putting it right on your AR-15 lower. And I'm so used to an AR-15 setup, it just works better for me. And a lot of the AKs that I've shot, because I have those long gorilla arms, the barrels aren't long enough. They're just, or they're, I'm not saying they're not long enough. It's like, but the wood, or if I had like a hybrid type where it had a rail, a full length rail on one, I could reach back out there. But it's just, they're just too compact for me. I feel too smashed on them. And also, I C clamp on an AR-15. And I have attempted to C clamp a few times on the AKs, and it doesn't feel good on the hands. Hello, David. How are you? I do like vodka too. I do like vodka, especially in the summertime. Vodka and like Sprite Zero with a little splash of lime. It's actually really good. Glenlivet. Yes, I've had Glenlivet before too. Okay, let's see here. Man, this God StreamYard. I swear. Rich B is saying, "When do you get my big hands on a Canic Rival Steel? Difficult to find right now. Think it will work well for me. Hopefully, won't be disappointed." I posted up, Rich B. I posted up in my community tab. You should maybe follow me over there. But I did post up the Rival. They had it at PSA on sale, the steel one. It was the bright silver, not the black one, but I think they had it for like 12.99 or something like that. Yeah, bald. I hear you. I shouldn't really be. I don't drink. I drink maybe once, maybe twice a week. That's it. And it's just like one of these. Yeah, there's a lot going on in a lot of people's lives right now. Yeah, hopefully, Floridian. I do have an interview. Just if anybody wants to hear, because I've been having a lot of people ask, what's going on. I've got an interview on Friday, an in-person one. So hopefully that will pan out and we'll get cranking again. Clyde is saying I need to raise my optics up. I'm doing the tactical turtle on my rifles. Any recommendations on a riser for EOTech? Unity makes one, makes a really nice riser. It's not that expensive, and it will rise up your EOTech. So I would get with Unity Tactical. They have them. There's some other places that have them. I think LaRue has them also, and a lot of people run them with their EOTechs and really like them. So I would definitely try that out. Yeah, Scott. C clamps on AKs don't work well. Hello, 500 Magnum. How are you? Yeah, reloading from the hot pot. I would agree with that. There's a lot of AK guys, but it's definitely not the most popular in the U.S. I would agree with that, but I know a lot of people that run them. And I know guys that have ARs set up for 7.62 by 39. So, you know, I've never tried Hammer and Sickle vodka. I do like a lot of the Texas vodkas. We've got Tito's, of course, is really good. I do like Tito's. There's another one called Texas. It's similar to Tito's. It's like triple filtered or whatever, and I've got a big bottle of that in the outside icebox, and it's very smooth too. Thank you, Richard. I appreciate you so much, man. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks, Bald. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, I'm not worried about me. I mean, I can do great. Um, I've done it in the past, but what the heck is happening here? Wow. Okay, maybe StreamYard just reset something. Hopefully, because it was getting weird for a minute. Russian wheat vodka. Okay, Grey Goose isn't bad. Tito's is like rubbing alcohol. Yeah, no, I've had some vodka that's like rubbing alcohol. Tito's doesn't bother me. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. G23 ARs and 7.62 by 39 is a bastardized firearm. I do agree with you on that. It's just the operating setup for an AR is just what I'm so used to. And I've shot an AK. I took that AK class. I've got a video on it. Um, it was definitely different for me. I don't own an AK anymore, so they put me behind a, oh, what was it? It's that piece of shit AK. And if anybody has one, I'm sorry, but it's a piece of shit. Um, God dang, what's that brand? It's everybody knows what brand I'm talking about. If I see it, if y'all know the brand I'm talking about, it's like the cheap one of the cheap AKs. Um, God dang it, Century Arms. Century Arms. Okay, here's the thing about this. I was shooting it in that class. Didn't have a red dot, just had iron sights on it. I was using iron sights, and I'm like, what the hell? And the target was right here. Okay, from like I don't know, 15 yards away. My group was like right to the left of it. Nice group, but right to the left of it. And I'm like, what the hell? I'm not that bad of a shot. I'm like, it's 15 yards or 20 yards on a freaking rifle, because we had to do up downs, pop, 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 like 3 rounds, 5 rounds, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, something ain't right. So when we were able to clear and everything, I really started looking at it. The front sight post was just bent on its own. Nothing hit it. It was just bent. So I'm like, the front sight's bent. So I showed Chandler and he goes, God dang, it is. He goes, here, just use mine. So then I used his and was just doing very well with it. But I'm like, whatever. Hello, sir. How are you? He said, I quit drinking. Now I shoot better. Yeah, I don't drink when I shoot, of course. But no, it was a Century Arms. And that thing was a piece of shit. Hello, Vanessa Kitty. How are you? And his rifle that I was shooting was a much better brand AK. It was one of the real deals. But Pioneer Arms, I've heard of them. I've never shot one of their rifles, but I have heard of them. Oh, that's funny, Abigail. That's funny. Texas Longhorn, how are you? Says I came to say Mossberg Shockwave. Okay, cool. I'm glad if you like it, freaking run it, man. Yeah, some AKs are actually really accurate. Some aren't that accurate. I mean, but what is accuracy? I mean, when you're really getting down to it, you've got pinpoint accuracy, like with a bolt gun, if you're sitting there all lined up with a bipod, and then you've got combat accuracy. If you can hit like a man-sized target, at 100 yards, 150 yards, or whatever, with a red dot, I mean, that works. Now, of course, if you've got a scope on it, on an AR, you can get much more better accuracy, or I can. Not that I'm a long range precision guy, because I'm not, and I'll never claim to be. Yeah, Scott, that's cool. I mean, there is nothing wrong with AKs. If you've got a good one and it runs, like I've always said, man, there's 31 flavors. Everybody can get whatever flavor they like. So if you're into AKs, shit, run your AKs, man. I'm just not that big of an AK guy. Not that I dislike them. They just, a lot of them don't work well for me. Mossberg Mariner, that's a very good gun. Very good, or very good shotgun. And I really do like I like those setups on those Mariners. They look pretty cool. Cheers, everyone, to your family and their health and all that good stuff. But is anyone interested in that Smith and Wesson folded carbine? Anybody interested in something like that? G23 says I'm still thinking about getting a 6mm arc bolt action. There's nothing wrong with 6mm. I mean, it's a legit caliber. I would definitely agree with that. Accuracy is 50% quality ammo and 50% quality firearm. If either one is crap, so are your groups. Yeah, and I mean, I will say this. Your grip has a lot to play in that too. If you've got a shit grip, you might put a nice group over here or here or here or wherever. You definitely need a nice grip on that gun and a nice trigger pull. If you're slapping the trigger or flinching it, like low left, you're going to shoot low left. So you'll have a nice group, but it'll be low left. I really work the pad of this first finger. That's my spot. I don't hook the finger. I've got a buddy of mine that hooks his finger in there, and man, his groups are always low left. And I'm like, quit doing that shit. And he'll be like, there's nothing wrong with it. It's the damn gun. And then I'll take it and shoot a nice group with it. And I'm like, pull your damn finger out. So he'll put a pad on it, and then he'll shoot a good group. And then he'll be like, damn, that is a good group. And then 5 minutes later, he's back to hooking his finger in there. Habits, if you've been shooting a long time with a bad habit, it's hard to break it. Is TGE good for light gunsmithing? Put some sights on my PO1. Oh, definitely. Those guys are really good. I know every one of them back there. They have 4 gunsmiths. Two of them actually, two of them are super seasoned. I mean, they know everything about everything. Trevor is one of the younger ones, but he's really good, and he's actually really good with revolvers. Also, he can do some badass triggers. And they have a young lady that's back there as a gunsmith, and she actually does pretty good too. But Robert and Danny are the lead gunsmiths, and they're both excellent. I mean, I would highly recommend them. Put it this way, I've dealt with a lot of gunsmiths in the area. I would do TGE first for local, and then like for pure 1911, I would go out to Wiley's. Um, they have a 1911 Guru that I've known forever, and it's Wiley's Guns. They're not super close though. They're about an hour and 45 minutes away from me. But I've gone out there I had him throat a couple of 1911s for me, throat and polish them. These were custom 1911s, and he did the work for me. Yeah, the Smith and Wesson 5.7 is cool, and you're right on the ammo. It's expensive. I mean, the cheapest I've seen it is like 60, 70 cents a round. Um, I think if the ammo could come down in the pricing, I think more people would buy it. Um, I actually thought about having the 5.7, that Smith and Wesson 5.7, to put my suppressor on it and a red dot on it for my wife. She, you know, she can shoot a 9 millimeter. She can shoot it actually pretty good, but she just doesn't like the loud bang. She loves 22s, absolutely loves them, and really really good with them. It's just that 9 millimeter bang does kind of intimidate her a little bit. So a 5.7, she'd probably get really nasty with that thing and just tear it up. Hello, Norwood. How are you? Yeah, and I don't know if y'all saw this, but all the Keltec sub 2000s when they released the Smith and Wesson, now they're all 100. Keltec's giving $100 off for the sub 2000s, so it's bringing them down to like $329, any color you want. The black, OD green, and then the FDE. So you can now get them for $329. Now that's after the rebate, so you pay $429 and then you mail it into Keltec and get their rebate. They just announced that I think today or yesterday. But I think since they're on sale, Keltec probably has a Gen 3 coming out. I would assume, and I'm sure Ruger and everybody else is going to come out with these folded rifles, since this brace issue is having a problem, or this brace thing is. I don't think it's going to pass and really be released. And if it does, I'm not too worried about it. I think I've talked about it before, but you know, it is what it is. Yeah, matter of fact, Pranic, on my PO1, uh, Robert put the sights on my PO1 because I didn't want to scratch it up or anything. Yeah, Pistol Pete, you're exactly right. Put a little popsicle stick on there, he'd probably do a hell of a lot better. But like I said, I was just showing him some things. I'm not that I'm a master shooter or anything. I'm not. But when you pick up on little things like that, because you see in the groups, and he's like, "Man, what am I doing wrong?" Blah blah blah. And it took me 2 seconds to see it. And where I mean, I shoot pretty well, but where my weakness is, sometimes when I get laxy daisy and I'm just like bang bang bang, just shooting away, what happens is my left grip, really crunching it on there, getting that really, smashed grip, I'll weaken my left hand, and then I'll notice. I mean, it's not perfectly up and down. I might get a tad left or a tad right, and that's when I get a weak left hand. So I can usually look at my grip and be like, strengthen your damn left hand. What the hell are you doing? So I can pick up on things like that, and people who shoot a lot can. I had the FN 57. I've told this story before. I had it when FN first released it, and the ammo was like $80 a box, and FN is the only one that had the ammo because I thought it was cool and all that other stuff. And it was fun to shoot. It was just super expensive, way more expensive than it is now. I didn't shoot it all that much. And I had the FDE one, which was pretty rare. There a lot of people have the black ones, and this one was FDE. And this guy saw it, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, do you want to sell it? I gotta have it." And I made money on that thing big time because I bought it right. Thanks, G23. I appreciate you, buddy. Yeah, 7.5 FK Bruno. That thing's cool. That's really cool. David, I would probably still take the 5.7 because with when you're dealing with like the soft bulletproof vest and stuff like that, it can with some of their ammo it can penetrate it where the 22 TCM can't or is not as likely to, put it that way. But I would still take the 5.7. Yeah. Oh, did FK go out of business? I didn't know they were out of business, but that round is really badass. I had a feeling it was going to be a boutique thing, but yeah. And Lynn, I kind of thought, I was like, do you think Glock will come out with one? Because like I said, I was talking with Uncle Dan, and Glock is not fast to do anything. But I was thinking, this could be Taurus's opportunity to throw something out there that people might buy. Fina says, y'all do what you want, but I'm not going to comply with gun laws. I don't care what gun laws there are. I'll own whatever weapons I want. I like that, Fina. Or Abigail, I like that. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Gotta do what you gotta do. Yeah, I heard that the talk could. Takarov or whatever, yeah. It's still around, but I think they just use it like in some special operations from what I heard. Oh, did y'all also see that HK released a new pistol? Or in Europe they did. It's the SK CC, or excuse me, the HKCC. It has like a 9H7D or whatever CC. And what it is, it's a subcompact, a little bitty guy. It kind of looks like a little VP9 in a way. And I think it holds 10 rounds. And I'm like, okay, it's not optic ready. So I'm just like, okay. I wish Glock would make the Glock 50 and 50 AE. Don't they make a, didn't Glock, or I guess it's a aftermarket company, but don't they make like a 460 Roland or something conversion? Stack and a half mag. Yeah, Scott, that's what it is. Stack and a half mag. But isn't it like a 10 rounder? I think that HK, they said it was 10 rounds. But I'm like, whatever. I don't really think, it's not optic ready. It's not anything. I don't know what's so special about it. But that's HK hates civilians. But again, on my top five, like I said, if you missed it, I would say a good 9mm pistol, a good AR-15, a good pump shotgun would be my opinion, at least a shotgun. And I prefer 12 gauge. I'm not really a big 20 gauge guy. Not saying they're bad, or a 16 gauge guy, or a 410. I prefer a 12 gauge. Good 22 LR, whether it be a pistol or a bolt gun, or a pistol or a rifle, I would choose a rifle. And then a good 308 hunting round for me, or a 6.5 or something 30 caliber or over is what I would recommend. Glock barrels in 50, yeah. Yeah, David. There's a lot of them that have they have their little political things, and we know who they are. But anything else y'all can think of? I didn't get a lot of questions. Got my ears lowered today. Got it all chopped off. I'd already planned to, but I'm glad I did because I've got that interview on Friday. See if there's anything. Oh, I don't know if you saw the video. You can check it out if you want to. But that Teslong borescope, I've been playing with it more, and I actually really like it. And Teslong reached out to me and said, "Hey, here's a discount code for your customer for your subscribers. So if you want to use it in that video, if you're looking for a borescope, for the Teslong that you can hook up to your Android phone, that one's actually very inexpensive. And then the one with the monitor that I have, that version's not that expensive at all. You can check out your rifle barrels, pistol barrels, use them on cars for, combustion engines, pull your spark plug out, go down there and take a look, running through walls, whatever you want to do. But they're giving 10% off for the subscribers, and the link's in that video if y'all want anything like that. I just told them thank you for the discount code for y'all. I think that could be a big help. And I think they were even offering free shipping too, so you could get free shipping and 10% off. So it's actually a pretty smoking deal. Love 500 Magnum. Love some revolvers. Yeah, I posted one of my revolvers up on one of my shorts, and people were like, "Wow, I didn't know you had revolvers." And I was like, "Yeah, got 3 of them, but I just don't ever shoot them. Not that there's anything wrong with them. It's just I've been there and done that, and grew up shooting them too. So they just don't do much for me anymore." Tackies, yeah. Those are pretty good. Yeah, the Savage 110 is actually a very good rifle. Savage 110 Magpul Hunter 308, got about 120 rounds, 40 PPU and Seiko, 20 of Fed Shock and Fed Fusion. Yeah, I've got a ton of 308. I've got, of course, 308, and then I've got 7.62 by 51 NATO rounds. I've got a bunch of those too, and I've got a bunch of ballistic tip rounds and all that kind of stuff, or you know, defensive 308. I even have some 110 grain 308, which are pretty wicked. I haven't, shot any gel or any of that kind of stuff. But when you shoot something with it, like we were shooting some water jugs a long time ago, it's pretty ridiculous what that stuff will do. Yeah, I was talking about car. I do not like car. I don't really like any pistols they offer. I've owned them in the past, way back with that PM, whatever the hell it was. The triggers suck. I mean, they just don't do anything for me. A lot of people can never rack the slide because they're so freaking tight and oversprung. Um, I'm just not a big car fan. Yeah, the borescopes, and that's what I talk about in that video. If you haven't seen it, you could check it out. But I had a borescope way back when Snap-on came out with them. God, forever ago, or had their versions. I had them for automotive, and I mean mine. When I bought it, and of course, like I said, that was 20 years ago or something, or maybe longer. Um, that thing was like 3 grand. It was not cheap. Um, this unit that I have now is better, of course, because it's 20 years better in quality, or in the way it looks. Um, and I think this unit's only like $300. I mean, it's not bad, or under $300. It's not bad at all. And that's for the more expensive version with the monitor. I mean, it blows my old one out of the water. Matter of fact, when I got out of the business, I ended up selling mine, and I got quite a bit for it. But it's so antiquated. I mean, it's kind of like the flip phone. But Asian gun manufacturer. Well, hell, a lot of the parts I know, even for the new Springfield 2011, or whatever you want to call it, 2011 DS, a lot of that's made overseas, and then shipped and assembled here. But as far as a hardcore manufacturer, I know they're out there. I just can't think of it. Brad said, "Hey, Big J, I just left the TGE Shooter Social. I won third place. That's awesome, man. I couldn't go because I had the chats. I have 2 chats tonight, but that's awesome, man. Congratulations. Was it? I guess it was fun. Was there a big turnout there, Brad, tonight? Yeah, they were asking me if I was going to come up there, and I wanted to, but of course I had the chats. Yeah, the Chiappa rhinos are really cool. I shot balls. I mean, I shot it before I almost blew my thumb off because I'm a dumbass. David says heavy gun around 9.5 pounds. Going to get a flash hider for it just in case a 20-inch barrel causes a small fireball. Yeah, and I mean, if you're having any movement or anything, you could run precision armament. I've got videos on it. Their hyper tap brake is actually pretty awesome. I mean, it's loud, but it's pretty damn awesome. PM9. Yep, that's right, Lake Ozark guy. That gun was a piece of shit. I tried to get my wife to shoot it. She couldn't even pull the trigger. I mean, could not even pull the trigger on that thing. Hello, Blex. He's saying cheers from Germany. Hey, man, awesome. Appreciate you tuning in. Yes, I have shot one. I shot the 357-38 version, and that was an awesome lever gun. It was the case hardened version. That thing was sweet. It was really, really nice. It wasn't mine, it was a buddy's, and I tried to buy it from him, and he wouldn't sell it. That was a long time ago. Love the blue light. Yeah, I would mix it up a little bit. They don't like it when I run the red. They said I look like the devil. Brad said it was very fun. I think 45 people shot total. That's awesome, man. That's a pretty good turnout. That's true, Mike. That is true. Yep, Philippines. I would consider that. Yeah, Rock Island. I mean, you know what's crazy is back when I had my Les Bears, everything was made here. But now a lot of the Les Bears, they even send their frames over to the Philippines. They're made over there and then sent over here on some of their models. I don't know about all of them, but I was like, what? But they do. What's up, Trigger Bar? How are you, man? Matter of fact, if you want to check it out, he just released a video tonight. The Rock 5.7 versus the new Smith and Wesson 5.7. So it's a pretty entertaining video. Ooh, what was a hyped gun caliber but was crap? The 224 Valkyrie. I never owned one. A buddy bought one. I shot it. I could not get it to group at all. I was like, what in the hell is wrong with this? So we tried. There was only a couple of rounds when he bought it and it first came out. I think PMC, there's only a couple of rounds offered. That thing was inaccurate as dog shit. And I was like, this gun is freaking horrible. And he goes, no, it's just you. He got behind it, shot worse than I did. The rifle had a really good trigger in it too. And I was like, this thing's shit. So I would say the 224 Valkyrie, also going to be the 30 super carry. That's going to be another one. Um, you know, what else can I? Is there any more? The SD9 VE Smith and Wesson. I'm not real fond of it. It's similar to a Glock. Um, it's of course 9mm, and they had them in 40. I'm not real super fond of that gun. The trigger's horrible unless you do some work on it. But those are just some things I'm thinking about. 45 gap. Yep, that's a horrible caliber. Yeah, 224 Valkyrie's been done. Hey, you're welcome, Trigger Bar. I appreciate it, man. 6.8. I personally, I don't want to speak ill of it because I don't know that much about it. Maybe it'll be a shining star for them. I don't know, but I don't think it's anything I'm going to jump into. 327 Magnum is very weird. I've shot it. I've never owned one, but I shot that 327 Magnum Smith and Wesson, and I think Harry has one. I think Harry has that 327 Magnum too. But it is very different. I mean, I didn't mind shooting it. It shot fine. Yeah, William, I'm talking about when it first came out, the 224 ammo, they couldn't get it figured out. I've heard that they've gotten it figured out since. I still don't think it's very popular. I mean, at a lot of the gun stores and stuff that I go to, they don't even carry the ammo or any of the rifles in it and haven't in a long time. I just don't think it took off like people thought that it was going to. And of course, you can get all these crazy Wildcat rounds and, whatever you want to make. But, David is asking, what is better, break free or ballistol? I don't know if y'all have seen videos. Still own ballistol. I still have some break free. I've used both. And here's the thing that I'll say on the break free. I used to use it quite a bit. However, when I used it and I would shoot a lot, I'm talking a lot, it burns off pretty quickly. The break free does. The ballistol does not. So in that opinion, I would stay with the ballistol personally. Not saying break free is horrible, but I have burned a lot of it off. That's why I no longer use it anymore. I haven't used it in years because of that reason. And ballistol is awesome on leather, It's awesome on knives. I mean, it has, and you can use it on a lot of things, but I would definitely stay with Ballistol. Hey, what's up, Red Menace? How are you, brother? Good to see you. Oh, Lucas Extreme Duty. Yes, I really do like that. I use it a lot. I do like Lucas quite a bit. So definitely a fan of it. I mean, that's kind of my go-to now and has been for quite a while. Are you still hitting them long and straight, Red Menace? Is that still what you're doing? What grease for? What grease for? What grease do I use? Because I do have grease also. I have some. God, what is the brand of? It's called Rand, Rand, and it is their heavy duty grease. And I use it on bolts, like my AR bolts. Sometimes, depending on the conditions and the weather and stuff, if it's really hot, I'll use a little bit of grease. Sometimes, not a lot, just a thin layer. But some of the best stuff in the world, and I used it forever, and I still have it, is red wheel bearing grease for my AR bolts. It's good stuff. A lot of people will bitch and moan about it, but if you use red high temp wheel bearing grease, it is legit in your ARs. The Colt Anaconda. I have a buddy who has the original, not the remake. He's got the OG Anaconda in the box and everything. Slip 2000 isn't bad either. David, I do not use frog lube. I tried it first when it came back out, or way when it came out, where you put it on and you bake it and heat it up and all that shit. It did not work well for me, and I did it exactly like the directions said to. I won't use that shit anymore. That's just my opinion. My opinion. So take it for what it is. All right, Lex gives me his blessing to change my background. I appreciate it. Yep, Freedom Family. Yep. Pistol Pete, throw the log or the frog lube in the trash. Rim oil, you can if it's light duty, like some 22s and stuff where they're not going to get really really hot. But some of the rim oil will burn off pretty quick during rapid fire, especially if you're running suppressed. You're going to notice it burning off pretty quickly. So you just want to be aware. Lucas gun oil is pretty decent. I don't use any of that gun blaster shit. Y'all have probably seen that where you spray it down the barrel. I don't use any of that shit. I don't mess with that. But we got about 5 minutes. Anything else you ladies and gentlemen want to talk about? Mobile One grease. I know people that use Mobile One, even on their pistols. I know a guy that uses it on his ARs. Um, and it does have a high viscosity rating. So it's not that it's horrible, it's just not what it's designed for. So I just don't recommend using that, personally. If you want to, that's cool. Hop's not bad. It's been around for 1,000 years. I think it's pretty played out. Um, but if that's what you like, I mean, Hop even has some new black. I think it's called Hop Black, and I've got a bunch of it, and I tried it. It seems to work okay. They say gun butter is really, really good. I've gotten samples of it, but I haven't tried it yet. But a lot of people are swearing by gun butter, and it looks. I mean, I squirted some in my finger and kind of ran it around, and what I do is I put it in my finger really fast and try to break it down, and it stayed slick for a long ass time. So it might be good to go. Yeah, I've got a bunch of those little packages of that Go Juice. Um, I've got a whole bunch of those little samples, and I'm sure it's good too. Thanks, Floridian. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yeah, y'all definitely say some prayers for me. I'd appreciate that. But man, there's just so many different things out there. I've tried a ton of different oils and stuff. People would send it to me. Um, the Breakthrough, Battleborn, all of that stuff. I've tried that. They've sent it in, and I run it. I run it on ARs. I run it, and run it like really fast with a mag to see what it'll do. And you can just watch some of it just burning. And you could see it where it was wet. And then after I shot, and then it cooled down even after one mag. I mean, you just rub it and it's like it was gone. And I was like, what the hell? And that's not good. So, bacon grease. Yeah, hell, I'm sure you could. Mineral oil. I know some people who do that too. Nelson is saying Brazil, man. If you're from Brazil, I appreciate it. Yeah, y'all need to get y'all's gun stuff squared away, man. They're wrecking it over there. Yeah, Blex, I just didn't run it. I haven't put it up the last couple of times. There's only a few of y'all that even ask about it. So I said next week I will put one up. Oh, you're okay, Pranix mechanic. Cool. Lucas is good, yeah. In the old west. Be hungry after shooting on the range. Yeah, it would smell like bacon, wouldn't it? That's or that fried bacon smell. Woo, that would be tough, man. Yeah, I still have aviation lubrication oil, but I wouldn't use it. I wouldn't use it on guns. Definitely don't want to, if you know anything about aviation, you definitely don't want to use Skydraw. That shit is nasty. Matter of fact, one time I had a pump blow and it blasted Skydraw in my face and all over my arms. And if you know anything about Skydraw, the only thing that will dilute it is milk. Can't use water. Can't use even those eye wash machines. You can't use any of that shit. It won't break it down. Milk is the only thing that breaks it down. And we always used to keep milk in the refrigerator. Well, of course, you never use milk when it's in the refrigerator at work. So it was clobbered up. So I had to use clobbered milk to dilute that Skydraw. And it actually ate the hair off my arms. That shit is nasty. So you don't want to mess with Skydraw. Aviation is a gin. Yeah, it's owned by Ryan. Ryan, what's his last name? Deadpool. He owns Aviation Gin. And what's funny is I've never even drank it. I mean, I like Ryan Reynolds, but I've never tried that gin. Blex, this is Noteworthy Reserve uh, bourbon, and it's actually really good, and the price is very, very reasonable. I buy the big bottles of it. Not expensive at all, but it tastes great. Well, it is 8 o'clock. Oh, Red Menace is saying it's a very mediocre gin. I figured, but yeah, White Russians are legit, David. But man, you'll gain some weight eating those if you make it with the ice cream and shit. But it is 8 o'clock. I got to jump over to Chris's chat, Chris with the 740. So if y'all want to head over there, we're going to talk about weapon mounted lights. So if y'all want to listen in on that, I'm going to be showing a bunch and talking and stuff. They've invited me over there, so we're going to go over there and have some fun. So I got to jump over there. But I appreciate y'all so much for tuning in. Next week, there will be one in the background, so tune in for it because it's going to be a special one that means a lot to me. So if you want to check it out, I would recommend checking it out. Not going to say what it is, but like I said, it's very, very special to me, and there's a reason why. And that reason is right there. If y'all see where I'm pointing, you will understand. So, yeah, just wait. Just wait, Pistol Pete. I'm going to be bringing that up for sure. But I appreciate y'all so much. Y'all have a great night. Pray for me for Friday. Hopefully that gets locked in. And we will do this next Wednesday. And head over to Chris at the 740, or Chris from the 740, and we'll go live over there. So y'all have a great night, everyone. Peace. Love your family, all that good stuff, and carry on.